April 14th, the dramatic event when the Titanic sank. This is history right here. This is absolute history. But today, guys, we are going to be reacting to why they can't bring back the Titanic or bring it out of the ocean. I mean, my main reason it will obviously be like, if you just try to lift that shipwreck up, it'll be like too rusty and everything. Like, they'll try to lift it up and it will just break between the pieces. Like, the whole thing will literally like decapacitate before it will come out of the ocean. It will literally just be little tiny bits of rocks or rust pieces everywhere. So yeah, no way they're getting this out of the ocean. But let's see, let's react to why they can't bring it out of the ocean. Let's see like their many reasons.
Back when it was built, the Titanic was one of the largest and most luxurious passenger ships, with high-class features like a grand staircase, a swimming pool,
legendary like landmarks.
Unsinkable because of its advanced safety devices. Its tragic sinking on its maiden voyage in 1912 proved it wasn't at all the case. It wasn't until 1985 that the Titanic's wreck was finally rediscovered using state-of-the-art sonar technology. Ever since, thousands of items have been recovered from the Titanic, many of them being put on display or sold for auction. Things like jewelry, a life jacket, a menu from the ship's restaurant, or even a sample square of carpet from the first-class stateroom have all baffled the public and told stories of the many on-board people.
I would actually love to own like a really like iconic piece of original Titanic. I would love to own something like that. It will be so cool. But I've actually been to those auctions as well. I've actually been to one of those Titanic auctions. This is something that my dad just did a lot. He went all to these like conventional stuff. So yeah, that's why I know a lot like of Titanic that I do now, because it's literally just because of him. But yeah, owning that piece of Titanic would be really cool to have.
Tried to come up with strategies to get the Titanic back up. Not because they want to put it up for display, but so it can be properly studied.
Yeah.
More importantly, to stop it from getting more and more damaged at the bottom of the ocean.
Mate, it couldn't happen.
Some suggested filling the wreck with ping pong balls to make it float, while others even considered injecting it with 198,000 tons of Vaseline.
Mate, it will just go out. It will just go out of it. It'll be too rusted.
The idea of using a giant claw or scoop.
Never. That's never gonna happen.
Came up with this device. Using 500,000 tons of liquid nitrogen to trap it in an iceberg that would float to the surface was also considered. But
Jesus Christ. They have a lot of considerations then, definitely. There was actually something not long ago. I think it actually happened start of this year, or towards like end of last year anyway. It was actually on the news where like a group of discoverers actually went to try and find the Titanic. So now we have actually some of the latest footage of the Titanic in like, I don't know, like 1080, like 4K like view. Because back then, like generations ago, it was like the worst quality you could ever have like seen it. And now they have like got it recently with like possibly like a bit better quality of what it looks like today, and it was actually pretty cool to look at. So I do recommend like searching that up.
Since the Titanic is way too fragile to ever be recovered.
See what I mean? Too fragile.
As the Titanic's iconic bow railings are in danger of collapsing, metal-eating bacteria continue to chew away at the ocean liner's wreckage.
Yeah.
The undersea exploration company plans to gather data about the ship's deterioration in annual expeditions. They hope this will help them learn more about the Titanic, and also more about the ecosystem that shipwrecks create.
There's definitely still thousands of uncovered stuff
being damaged by deep-sea currents daily.
Exactly.
Some experts predict
you couldn't do it.
The ship could disappear in a few decades due to holes in its hull. The deck,
that's going to disappear one day.
Crowded on as the ship sank,
probably it's disappeared now.
Caved in. The gymnasium near the grand staircase has also fallen in, and a 2019 expedition found that the captain's bathtub, which became visible after the outer wall of the captain's cabin fell away, is no longer there. Those annual expeditions also gather data about the creatures living at the site, including crabs and corals. Surprisingly, many species have only been seen there at the Titanic wreck, so scientists are curious to find out more about them. The most famous out of all these creatures is the Halomonas titanicae. It's a bacteria, and it was discovered on the wreckage of the Titanic. What's interesting about this creature is that it's able to thrive in extremely salty environments. It's also been resistant to several antibiotics, unlike other types of bacteria. It's probably because of this super bacteria that the deterioration of the ship's iron hull.
That's not a Titanic, though, is it? That can't be. That footage is not a bit.
We'll also look at the debris field and its artifacts. On the site, there are still traces of little personal items like clothes and luggage. One of the most interesting stories of Titanic artifacts is that of the passengers' shoes. Most of the Titanic items that have been lost at sea deteriorated or disappeared completely. But not the shoes. They seem to be able to resist the harsh conditions.
There's got to be 1,000 of those, like luggage, clothes, shoes, everything.
Shoes is perfectly preserved, probably because of tannin, a substance used in the tanning process of leather. It helped the shoes resist the damaging bacteria found underwater. All this exploring might have gotten you all excited.
I would love to explore it. I would love to. I would love to explore it, but as we saw in one of the last videos of water stuff, like how deep the ocean is, like, mate, it's like 4,000 meters down below. I ain't going that far, mate. I'll drown, mate. Well, obviously, won't drown. I'll have oxygen, obviously, but bro, I'll be terrified. I couldn't do it. I'll be terrified. Too terrified. I couldn't do it ever. I couldn't do it. If I had to know that I'm definitely going to be safe in those little submarines, whatever they take down there. So also I know that I'm with a professional and I know I'm going to be safe. I would do it. I'll consider it. But I would not leave it. I would not leave, like, that submarine to go and, like, explore the rings. I would not do it. Never. Too terrified. I'll be too terrified.
Personally explore the Titanic, you have to plan ahead and apply to be a mission specialist with OceanGate.
Oh, you actually have to apply for it.
Journey. However,
OceanGate.
This experience does come with a high price tag of $250,000.
Jesus Christ.
Despite the cost, this once-in-a-lifetime experience is in high demand because of the limited spots available. If you
it's got to be popular tourist, yeah.
You will have the chance to collaborate with renowned specialists in marine biology, oceanography.
See, if I'm with that, I'll be safe. I'll do it, yeah.
And the deep ocean. Accommodations and meals on
the North Atlantic Ocean, mate, freezing.
As well as training and guidance from specialists before and during the mission. Lastly, you don't even need to bring your own gear, as the expedition equipment is included as well.
Nice.
Sure, ships have evolved and modernized over the years.
Looks like Belfast.
These days, we have technology that is way better than that available on the
Must
Titanic.
be Belfast, surely.
But this ship remains an amazing piece of history because of its many unusual features, like the fact that the Titanic's whistle was loud enough to be heard over 11 miles away.
Oh, mad.
Or the fact that the ship's hull was painted with a special mixture of red lead and linseed oil, which was believed to be effective in preventing the growth of seaweed and other marine organisms. However, despite popular belief, the ship's iconic fourth smokestack was not functional and was only used for ventilation and aesthetics. Probably one of its biggest flaws was its number of lifeboats. Despite its size,
yeah, mate, that was definitely not enough.
only had 20 lifeboats on board.
Yeah. Wait, how many was it? Like, I actually don't know how many he actually came back. I thought it was only one person. Like, no, that's it. No, only one lifeboat came back. Only one lifeboat came back, and I think there was only 16. No, it wasn't definitely not. I don't know. I don't know how many people on it, but yeah, only one lifeboat out of the 20 came back.
Were not enough to save all of its passengers and crew once it hit the iceberg. The Titanic may be the most famous shipwreck.
It is, yeah.
It's not the only one. The fleet of Kublai Khan tells a similar story.
Oh, I've heard about that one. Yeah, we've done that in the reaction video as well.
Force commissioned by the Mongol ruler Kublai Khan in the 13th century. The fleet was intended to travel to Japan and establish the Mongols as powerful rulers in the region. However, in 1281, the fleet was supposedly caught in bad weather and was seriously damaged.
Yeah, mate.
Many ships being
ain't surviving those tides.
Legend has it that the fleet was torn down by a massive typhoon that came to be known as the kamikaze, or divine wind. This strong storm was believed to have been sent by the higher spirits to protect Japan from the Mongols. The truth about its disappearance remains a mystery to this day.
Okay, is that a bit of an over-exaggerament, or is that just me? Is that a bit... I feel like I was a bit over-exaggerated. I mean, I can't say for sure, obviously. I've never even heard of that ever. I heard about the wreckage, obviously, but I never heard about, like, being like this. I feel like a bit of an over-exaggerament, but we'll go with it. We'll just go for now, because I can't say anything about it, because I've literally never heard about it till just then.
The wreckage of the fleet...
I mean, yeah, weather, fair enough, yeah. That would definitely do it.
In the 1980s by Asian archaeologists. They dug across the...
It must be a cool job to actually find and discover all these stuff.
At a location near Imari Bay. The shipwreck is, to this day, considered to be an important archaeological discovery. That's because it informed us how well prepared the Mongols were back in the day in terms of their ships. Another tragic story is that of the RMS Empress of Ireland. This was a British passenger ship that operated until May of 1914. This is when the ship was sailing from Quebec City to Liverpool, but it ran into the Norwegian collier SS Storstad in the fog off the coast of Rimouski, Quebec. The collision caused a large hole in the side of the Empress of Ireland, and the ship began to quickly take on water and sink.
Damn.
The crew and passengers were caught off guard, and many were unable to evacuate in time. In total, 1,012 people were lost in the disaster,
Jesus,
making it one of the worst maritime collisions in Canadian history. Rescue efforts were hampered by poor visibility and the fact that many of the lifeboats were...
I like how it's not even about Titanic anymore, because it didn't have much to talk about it. I was wondering why it was 8 minutes long.
And many of them were rescued by the Storstad, which had remained in the area despite its damage. The sinking of the Empress of Ireland was a national tragedy in Canada, and it led to changes in maritime safety regulations and the establishment of a Coast Guard. The ship still lies at the bottom of the St. Lawrence River, where it has become a popular dive site for enthusiasts.
Oh, that's cool then. That's cool. Pretty cool, interesting video. But yeah, pretty much the reason, basically what I said. Like, you try to dig it up, you try anything, doesn't matter what, like marble balls, whatever. You try lifting it, like that Titanic is just going to decapacitate in your hand. This is going to be brittle. This is just brittle. It's going to be nothing. Nothing is ever saved. It like in a few like decades, whatever, how many years, like that's just going to be complete nothing at some point. That's just going to be nothing. It'll be like all the parts will be just like scattered into little pieces, and it's just going to turn into particles, rust, whatever. Yeah, that is never ever coming out the ocean, mate. That is completely gone, mate. That is gone. But yeah, obviously, yeah, I chose this day because if you haven't realised already, it's like April 14th, which is the day that our Titanic actually sank, which is why we are reacting to it, because I thought it would be a good day to do it. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed that. But yeah, happy Titanic Day.